Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have Esther Summersett joining us here live. She's the owner, broker, and designer of HadassahHomes.org. Go to the website, and we're talking about Hadassah Homes real estate and design. She does it all, and we are so excited to have you here on the Zoom and on the live show today. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. How are you, Joe?
Fantastic.
Good.
Please introduce yourself to our listeners.
So my name's Esther Summersett, and I am, as you know, broker, owner, realtor, designer at Hadassah Homes. Here in Lynn, we're located in Lynn, Massachusetts.
Perfect. And how can we contact you? Tell us the website, phone number, all the above.
So website is www. There's multiple connections to us. Is www.hadassahhomesinc.com. That's the one that pops right off to my head. Our office number is 781-776-3977. My direct number is 781-309-2010.
Perfect. Well, we are excited to have you here and tell us a little about where you're from. Give us your history and background. Where'd you grow up? And we'll talk, all your accomplishments on the way up the ladder, how you ended up here.
Yeah, so I actually was born in New York, myself, and so I came here to Lynn, Mass when I was 2 years old. That's pretty much, I've been here most of my life except for 4 years that I spent in Miami where I met my husband and then came back here.
Oh my goodness. And where are you currently specifically?
We are in Lynn, right back in Lynn. Yes, so I brought him with me.
Oh my goodness. So tell me, what was the work you were doing back then in New York? How did you get involved in the real estate?
So, back prior to real estate, I was actually a director of a program right here in Lynn. It was a reentry program working with young people between the ages of 14 and 27 that had been incarcerated. At that time, I got into real estate. I always loved a design. 2010, I started drafting what in my mind was my vision for Divine Design by Hadassah. And so I started off actually drawing clothing. And so then it kind of escalated. During my time in the nonprofit world, obviously I loved case management right off the bat, and I see real estate just has that. And so who can survive though out of nonprofit pay? And so the idea kind of just came together for me that I wanted more, and it was okay to do more within my time. And so I got into real estate being there, and also opened up Divine Design while being the director of Straight Ahead Ministries in Lynn.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, now give us the timeline here. How did this all go down? What else? We want to get your whole history and how this all started because
So
you are so successful. I'm so proud.
yeah, I mean, that's in my mind, right? I'm not where I used to be. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm definitely not where I used to be.
Yeah.
And so for me, I mean, honestly, Divine Design, what in my mind, I've always been a community person, hence why I was a director of a program, right? And that's always been a passion for me. Divine Design, honestly, was birthed into what it is, interior design, because of the lack of bridging the gap between reentry services for young adults, right?
Okay.
And the lack of job development. And so I said, oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is in me. Why don't I create something that I can do both, feed me, but feed our community and empower our youth, right? I mean, how appealing is it to pick up trash in the summer and then go back to nothing? So Divine Design was born in that way. That is also why we do internships, to provide opportunity, really just bridging a gap for our young people, because they're not our tomorrow, they're actually our today. They're who running our streets right now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, let me ask, now the design and the real estate aspect of it, which one did you want to kind of dive into for us to start?
So let's see. Let's start with design because we're already there, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so I mean, the Divine Design specifically, it's geared to, there's just a lot of, hence I'm not like the best designer. I don't think I am. And I'm always on a learning curve, but Divine Design was born for many reasons. One, which I just explained, two, which was also, there's many people that need somebody to walk with them to the process of redoing their home. The truth is that not everybody can afford a certain budget.
Very true.
We need, for me, it's almost like I'm giving something but getting something, right? And
Yeah.
so, okay, what's your budget? What can we do within this budget? Let's work together. And so for me, it's kind of like my blessing. It is actually to be able to have the opportunity of being able to come alongside homeowners, right? Renters, whatever it is that they are, with what budget they have, right? Because we all see DUIs,
I know
DUIs.
what you
But I'm
mean.
like DUIs.
I got it.
But
I got it.
DYS, but it doesn't mean we quite necessarily have that
Yeah.
in us or know how to implement that. And so I think that's probably one of my best loves in design, where we can do so much with very little.
Ah, well, I love what work you're doing. Did you want to, do you want to share some of your work today? I don't know if you wanted to share the screen to pull up your website or any.
So I actually, to be quite frank, my computer is kind of like I have multi screens open right now.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry.
So I'm
Just
like, I don't know that that's gonna like work, but yes, they can feel free. I've just been working with the website designer. We will be updating so much more on there. We'll also be sharing so much more information because resources is the key. And so that way also within design and or real estate, clients can acquire good services, not just from us, but whether it's cabinetry, whether it's plumbing, electrical, they can go right on the site and obtain that.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's beautiful work. HadassahHomes.org, and you can go to either side. And again, we're talking about the Divine Design by Hadassah right now and helping design your dream home. So again, from full houses to just rooms. I know you do commercial too. I know on the website last time I was looking at some tiki bar type stuff and some great kitchens. So
Mhm.
could you share a little bit of your design, your style, or is it really customized to each individual's clients?
I mean, and that's the point. It is very much customized to the client because, see, I go home to my space, right? What I like,
Yeah.
my style is boho. But at the point where I'm creating an element for the client, it's all about the client, right? My client my style kind of goes out the
Yeah.
doors with my expertise kick in, right? And so that's really what they're hiring me for, to make their vision come to life.
Uh, and do you want to share some of the trends, some of the things that are hot and happening with interior design now?
Well, as we know, there was a trend of, it's probably one of my biggest pet peeves now, right? And there was a trend of where everybody was the gray. The gray
Yep.
was it. The gray walls. Everybody had to have them, right? Gray walls signified modern, new, right? And so to be quite frank, I always urge people, don't be scared of colors. Of course, we don't want to feel like we're in a mental hospital somewhat, for lack of a better word, but we want to like implement colors because that brings us also joys. However it is that we feel, we want to design that to our liking. So there's definitely the trends of being able to utilize colors coming back, which I'm excited about. There's also I'm kind of eclectic. So I always tend to think people look at things, okay, I gotta buy everything new.
Oh,
I do want to extend also the really like just the idea of changing accessories, right? For me, again, I am boho. So I like to take a traditional piece, whether it's painted or just buy like a gate. I don't know if we know what that is, but the stones, hardwares, and stuff like that, simple things to change. And so those are amazing trends that are coming back. The wallpaper, right?
yes, I've seen that. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. I remember growing up in the 80s and the wallpaper, and then years later, I was like all peeling off, and it was like, who does wallpaper? But now I see it everywhere I go.
Yeah, yeah, yep. And I think that wallpaper could be very fun, right? Obviously, who knows, right? 5 years from now, we're gonna look back and be like, because we're always evolving. But the reality is that wallpaper could be fun, just make it something that you love and that you can live with for a long time. And that's really all that matters, right? It's really about your style, what you want to express through your creativity in your home.
Well, also when it comes to interior design and the work you're doing, you also, reading on the website, you do painting, cleaning, plumbing, electrical, complete remodels too.
Right. Yes.
And is everything now, everything goes by like a 3D design plan? Like what's I'm sure everybody needs the 3D
Yeah.
renderings, right?
So, and that's how specifically how well, not everybody requests. Some people do request, but it's obviously it would be part of a package anyways, right? And so especially some people, a lot of us are visual. So that definitely helps the client with their decision making, alongside with me being with their support. But yeah, so and that's also what allows us to work with people outside of our area
Got
is
it.
the renderings.
Yeah. All
So
right. Good.
yes, that is definitely something we provide.
All right. So now the interior design, how long have you been doing interior design for?
So I started 2010.
Okay. And then when did the real estate start? What came first, the chicken or the egg?
I want to say that so divine design came first. Real
Okay.
estate came in as I was at straight ahead already. I was doing divine design as a sole proprietor, just kind of like on my own, venturing out, trying to reach the stars. And then as I was there already doing that and in the program, real estate came about. It just seemed like a no-brainer. It went hand in hand.
And then you start doing real estate, and then tell me now the real estate side of things and the type of homes and what's the real estate market like. Give us some details about being a realtor in, this day and age.
So, I mean, being a realtor, I think a lot of people underestimate the amount of work that it takes. I find that based on some people experience a lot of times, and if I can be transparent, and I'll apologize later for the transparency, is a lot of people look at realtors almost like, oh, they just want money. They just want to sell. And so being a realtor could be challenging, especially depending on the client's experience. However, I think that this is a perfect opportunity to kind of change things around, right? The market's not getting any easier, but I find that again, see opportunities in that. The market, as we all know, interest rates, they were predicted to drop. Now it's kind of like all over the place, right? It doesn't seem to be getting any low for a little bit.
Hmm.
So hold on to your hats. So, but overall, it doesn't mean that there's not any work. And at the end of the day, I feel like if we have integrity in what we're doing and our intentions are good and, we're showing up for our clients, we're not going to lack. We only get what we put in.
Oh, well, we want to remind everyone how we can contact you. Could you share the website, phone number, any social media pages?
Yeah, so we do have, they can find us Hadassah Homes. I think it comes back up, right up. We have Instagram, we have Facebook. Our website is again www.hadassahhomesinc.com. Our office number is 781-776-3977. You can reach me directly on my cell phone at 781-309-2010.
Beautiful. So, yeah, your mission and community education, empowerment, elevation, leveraging your knowledge and experience to position others to succeed. You say you're a resource and pillar from which other like-minded individuals can execute their ideas and launch their vision. And some great testimonials. Esther and a team did an amazing job selling my home. They staged it, provided the best photographer for the listing, and it made a great profit. Would highly recommend Esther and her team. They are professional, knowledgeable, and most importantly, dependable. That's from Maybelline Lopez. So tell me about the staging process that you do or
So yeah,
can do and what that's
yes.
all about.
So we look at staging in different ways. Sometimes the homes are vacant, where we
Hmm.
would stage it completely, right? And sometimes the homes have furnishing, but the layout's off, right? And so maybe we have to leave. A lot of times it's about minimizing to maximize,
Hmm.
right? And so it's placement. It's all about placement and how you really display the amazing pieces that you have as well. And so we do both. We provide the furniture, or we can take what we have and bring in a little bit to make it look a lot more appealing. And I find that staging actually gets you a better return, if that makes sense, because again, we are visual. Clients need to see what they can do with the space.
Now, do you also offer staging and like people want to buy the stuff when they're moving in? Like, hey, I like this couch. I like this bed.
Yeah. So you know that everything's negotiable.
Yeah.
Everything's definitely negotiable.
Now, do you have like a warehouse of items that you stage in, or how does that process
No,
work
so
too?
I actually work with local vendors.
Oh, okay.
So I think, and again, it kind of that, it kind of shows up in everything I do, more like community, right? And so just kind of coming together to be able, I don't see that I can be successful by myself. I
Got it.
find that coming together definitely provides the best for our clients.
What would you say is some of the biggest challenges in your career thus far?
Some of the biggest challenges is, I think, sometimes we get in the way of our own success. Two, finding good help. I think that that could be challenging as well. But overall, I find that it's challenging, but it also makes a lot of who I am, if that makes sense. We can take those things, look at it, or ride the bull.
Got it. And you choose to ride the bullet, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what else do you want your listeners to know about you and your work?
Oh, I mean, the work itself is really, we pour our hearts into it.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that we do, and I take pride in, specifically. I definitely am very much personally engaged, as you have may noticed in some of the conversations. And so we definitely are geared to provide excellence at everything we do. Even the way we display it. If you see our logo is based on community, kingdom, royalty. Really just giving our clients the most for their money. So
Interesting.
that's really what we gear toward.
Got it. And I'm here still on the website, peeking around, perusing type of listings. I mean, you have like serious millions of dollars homes to regular homes, right? You and also have a team of people. Could you share a little bit about how it all works and who else are you working with on the team?
So we have, I'm not sure how many, I think we have about 5, but we also have a board, as you can see. Again, there's been some tweakings, I think, in the last week of the website, so I'm not sure what's up right now. And there'll be continued some updates on there. However, that's really how we accomplish and within the team dynamic. That's how we accomplish everything. It's not just an I thing; it's a we thing. The each obviously the listings pertain to everybody in the office, and each person has their listings. This is real estate. I mean, real estate, it has to be something that you have a passion for,
And I
because it
clearly,
is a hassle. And at the end of the day, that we have to present ourselves in the best way possible in order
oh,
to achieve that.
got it. And they're also doing commercial real estate. There's a lot of water property on the water. So I'm assuming that's a big market for you all. Where
Mhm.
you
So as you know, we're about an hour and a half from Cape Cod.
hmm
So there's Yarmouth, there's different areas. It's more so really at this time of year, everybody that's becomes a trend, right? Nobody really wants to look at those properties where it's below zero.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
but yes, we don't really, we try to stay within certain realms, but I don't think that, because of like the ability to be able to spread and the team, then I think that's what we do best.
Oh, well, also, the work that you're doing, you're clearly passionate about what you do. You mentioned you were into back in the day watching all those design shows, right? And was it Property Brothers? Which was the one
Yes,
that you
it
like?
was exactly proper. I mean, I'm big on Joanne too,
Yeah.
Joanne Gaines. I love Joanne's style. But yeah, Property Brothers was how I started, where I started to kind of like dream, if that makes sense.
Do you still watch those shows now?
Not really.
You're like,
I
I don't
feel
have
like,
time.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I barely watch TV at all, to be quite frank, but there's times that I do kind of peek in to see what they're doing, right? And at the end of the day, I think greatness comes from being able to continue to be open-minded and learn from each other.
Yeah. All right. Well, we love talking to you. We still have 4 minutes left in the show. I don't want to cut you short. So, what else would you like to make sure we share for today?
I mean, I think honestly that is pretty much it. I think the listeners have heard. We are open and really looking forward to hearing from some of the listeners, whether it's a business, whether it's a collaboration, whether it's a sale. We're here to serve together. And that's pretty much it.
All right. And how can we reach out to you?
Again, you could reach out to me via phone, 781-776-3977 or 781-309-2010. You could also contact me via email, Esther@HadassahHomesInc.com. That is my direct email. There's also an office email. There's sales@HadassahHomesInc.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us. Great to get to
Thank you
see
so
you
much.
here
Likewise,
on
Jill.
on the Zoomcast as well. Have a fantastic day and enjoy the rest of the week. And we'll talk hopefully again next week.
Thank you, Jill.
Thank you. To all of our listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.